Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So today we'll be making out a Python project and the name for that project is Wikipedia. Right, so today we'll be making our own Wikipedia in which we'll be able to search out anything and that will be extracted from the main website of Wikipedia and we'll be getting that in the form of a GUI for you. So this is the whole idea. So that is basically you can just give it a name as make your own Wikipedia project that we are just gonna complete out today, right? So one more thing to mention here that particular project will be it is actually being made with the help of the tkinter library. So as I mentioned that this is a GUI project, so we'll be needing out the tkinter library for making out this particular project. Right. Now let's do one thing. Let's start writing out the program and the further things I'll be letting you know that within the video itself. Right. So what I would just do here is that I would be using out my tkinter library first of all. So writing from that is from tkinter import, so that is from tkinter import asterisk, right? So tkinter is my library that I am using and asterisk means that I am importing all of the functions which I have into this particular library, right? So from tkinter import asterisk. Okay, and if you just want you can just import the tkinter as well above. If you just want that, I can just write here import tkinter. So that is actually not at all used tkinter. So this is not actually needed, but if you just want, you can import that as well. Okay. After this, as I mentioned, that will be used making out your own Wikipedia. So in that, basically, we have one more module, one more library actually in the Python programming language, and that is actually named as Wikipedia only. The name for that library is Wikipedia. So we'll be installing that particular library first of all. So I would be just writing onto the terminal pip install and here goes the Wikipedia and I would just hit enter. Fine. So basically for me I have already installed that onto my device. So it will show me that requirement already satisfied, but if you haven't done that till now, so it will basically install that thing for you. Okay, come to the new line. I'll be writing here import Wikipedia. Okay, that is Wikipedia. Import Wikipedia as okay. Now basically I'm just writing here WK. Let's say this is a short form which I am giving to this Wikipedia library which I have imported here, right? As we used to give the same thing for the NumPy. Sometimes we used to give out the same thing for the NumPy, for pandas, for many libraries we just used to do out the same thing, right? So as for this Wikipedia as well, I am just doing out the same thing that I am just importing that particular library and just giving it a short form that is WK, right? Now this WK can be replaced from any of the names, whatever you just wish out. Now what I would be just doing here is that I would be making out the tkinter window. So for that, let's say my variable which I'd be using out here is window. Okay, window, capital T, small k, and then the brackets like this, right? So this is how we just make out the tkinter window. After this, I just want to give out a title as well to this particular window dot title, and into the bracket I would be giving it a title as let's say my mini Wikipedia. Okay, my mini Wikipedia, the title for my window of the tkinter that would be appearing. Okay, after this I just want to give out a background color as well, so that I could just use out here window dot and here I could just use out the config function window dot config. Into the bracket I could just give out a BG color, let's say that is black. Okay, now what I just want is that I want different frames. Okay, so into the tkinter window the like what are the things that we'll be making out. So under the above one I'll be making out a frame. That frame will actually be having my heading. Okay, heading, and basically the button for my search, and basically the whatever the thing you want to write there, all the things will be appearing. After that, downside I want another frame to appear. Frame is actually a rectangular type, or you can just say square box. Okay, I just want another frame to appear. In that frame, what will happen in that frame? I just want my results to be printed. Let's say I just search data science. So I just want that data science, whatever the whatever the things have come about the data science, I just want them to be coming onto another frame for me. So for that use, we'll be making out some different frames. Okay, so let's do that particular thing. I would be using f1 dot, okay, f1 underscore, and that is heading, my frame 1, that is for the heading. So for that I'll be using out the frame function, and into the bracket I'll be putting out the variable in which I have made out my tkinter window. So that's actually window only, right? Now I'd be using F2 underscore, and now I'd be making out one under frame, F2 underscore, and that is frame, and that will be equal to right here frame, and into the bracket it is window. Fine. And after that, what do I have? After that, I have my third frame that will actually show me the result. So F3 dot result, that is equal to frame, and into the bracket here goes the window, right? And now at last, what I would just do, I would just first of all write here window dot main loop, and I would just close this out. Fine. Now let's quickly run this out here for a while, and let's see that how it will actually look out. Fine. So basically I just run out my program, and yeah, so here is my tkinter window which is actually appearing. Fine. This is my tkinter window which is actually appearing out here. Fine. I would just close this out. Now what we'll be doing, we will be giving out different labels, different headings onto that tkinter window which has come. Right. So let's come down here and let me start writing. So I'll be using out one of my label functions. Label is basically one of the functions that is used for putting out some text, right? Label. Now I just want to put out this label into the F2 underscore frame. Okay, F2 underscore frame. I just want to put out my label into this particular frame. Now, after this, I'll be putting out a comma. Now, what text do I just want to be put it into this particular frame? So the text which I just wanted to put it is my mini Wikipedia. So that is my mini, and that is Wikipedia. Okay, my mini Wikipedia. Coming down, what I would just do out here is that I would be giving it some value. So let's say I would be giving out here the font first of all. Okay, so font is equal to, now what is my, okay, 1 second, right, fine. What is my font? So my font is, let's say, Arial. Okay, and what is, okay, not Arial, I just want it to be in the Times. So I would just write simply here as Times. Okay, what's the size? The size is, let's say, 30. And what next? Let's say it is bold. Fine. Now I'll be just giving out some BG color. So let's say the background, okay, just not outside the bracket, putting out a comma here. So BG is equal to, now let's say my background color is light green. Okay, after that I'll be using out a dot, and I'm just using out a pack function. Okay, inside that pack function I can just use out one parameter which is side, and I could just give this parameter as top. Fine. So this is how I could just make out a label for putting out one of my headings, that is my mini Wikipedia. Now let's quickly run that out here. Fine. So as soon as we just run it out, okay, so that is not appearing till now. Let's see how it will go. Okay, so label, and then basically I have here, okay, I'm sorry, it will be appearing onto the F1 underscore heading. Let me just remove it out, and it goes the F1 underscore heading. Fine. Now let's quickly run this out once again here. And now let's see that, okay, it's not appearing till now. Okay, let's write out the further program and let's see how it goes actually. Okay, fine. Now what I would just do here is that I would be simply using out my another label. Okay, another label I'll be using out here. So that is label, and into the bracket now I have the frame, that is F2 underscore frame. So this one, putting out a comma here, I would be using out my text. Okay, so text, what is that text actually? So in that I just want to put out one thing, that is search here. Okay, so I just want to put out that particular thing. I would just write here search here. Okay, after this, putting out a comma, I want to give out some font value as well. So what is my font which I just want to give out here? So that is, let's say, Arial. After that I have, let's say, 20, and then let's say I here have bold. Okay, after putting out a comma, I just want to give out a BG color. So let's see that color is yellow for me. Okay, and then after that I just want to use out the pack function dot pack, and into the bracket I just want to give it out that side is equal to, let's say, I just wanted to put on the left side, so I just gave that left here. Fine. Now I will be making out the third label here. So that is label. Into the bracket I will be using out the third frame, that is F3 underscore result. Fine. What text I just want to put out here? The text which I just want to put out here is search results. Okay, so I will just put out the text, that is text is equal to, and that is searched and results, results like this. Okay, search results. Come down, and here basically now I'll be putting out a comma, and after that I'll be giving out some font things here. So what about my font which I just want to give out? So my font is, I want to give it out here as Arial. Same size, I could just make it a little bit larger, that is 25, and I just want it to be bold. Fine. Okay. Putting out one comma after this, and now I'm just giving out some BG color. So my BG color is, let's say, light. Okay, that is light pink. Let's say, which I just wanted to put out here. Fine. Light pink. Okay, after this I will be putting out dot and the pack function. Inside that I will be putting out the side is equal to, let's say, my side which I just want to put out here is left, right? That I have done. Now next thing that I will be making here is that I would be making out a input box. Right now I'll be making out one of the input box. What will that input box actually do? So that will actually help me to write out whatever I just want to search about. Okay, whatever I just want to search out, it will help me to write that particular thing inside the box. Okay, because we want to make out a box. Inside that box only we'll be writing that what word you want to search out. Fine. Fine. Okay. Let's say my variable which I'll be using here as, let's say, that is entry underscore box. Okay, my variable name that I would be using out here. Just one second. Let me take this to the down place. Fine. Okay. Now here be using out the function which is entry. Okay, into the bracket. Now after that I just want to use out my frame number 3. So f3 underscore result. Okay, putting out a comma, I would just give it out a width here. So let's say the width is actually 40. Fine, let me come down once again. Fine here. Now after this I just want to give out a font as well to this, that what will be appearing as a search for me. I just want to set out some things for that as well. I'll be putting out the writing, let's say that is Arial. After that I just want to give out a size of the text, let's say that is 20. And yes, I just want that to be coming in the bold as well. So I just put out all of those things, right? Okay, remove these two slashes. Fine. Now here I'd be using out the pack function. So that is entry underscore box dot. I'd be putting out the pack, and inside that I would be using out the first of all the side parameter. So that side parameter is, let's say, left for me. Okay, after putting out a comma, after that I have fill. Okay, fill means that I just want to put out all of the text which is coming from both of the sides. Like whatever text is coming, I just do not want to put it onto only one side. I just want to fill the whole box with the text, right? So in that case, this both is used. And after that, I have expand one of the more parameters, and I just want to put that as 5 here. Fine. Now coming down, and here I'd be using out okay, that is entry underscore box dot, and here we have one function that is focus underscore set. Okay, so I'll be just using out that focus. Now all the labels and all the things are actually made out. Now what's the next one? The next thing that we are gonna make out here. Okay, before that, just let me make out a button as well for searching the things. Okay, let's make out a button as well for doing out the thing. Okay, so I'm just putting out here, let's say that is, okay, let's say that is button 1, my variable name. Okay, that is equal to, so as soon as I click on that search button, it will actually help me to search out all the things which are basically, or like whatever the word I have written onto that entry box, it will actually help me to search out that particular thing. So button 1. Okay, here basically I'd be using out my frame, and that is actually my frame, that is f2 underscore frame. Okay, I'd be just using that out. Fine. After that, okay, just one second, where is my button function which I just want to use? Okay, button function, first of all I'll be using out, and let me come down. Fine. Here after that I'd be using out my frame number 2, f2 underscore frame. Okay, now putting out a comma, what text I just want to be put onto between this button that will be appearing. I just want the text that is search to come here. Okay, so text is equal to search. Fine, putting out a comma here. What about my command? Okay, right now I just do not want to give out any command here because I haven't defined any function till now. Okay, so I would just not do that thing here. After this, I would be giving out some font to us. Font is equal to, so my font is that is Arial, size is 15, and let's say that is bold as well. Okay, what about my BG color? So my BG color is red, which I just want. What about my FG color? So FG color is basically white, which I want. Okay, and after that I would just use here button one dot pack function, and I just want to place out this button onto the right hand side. So side is equal to, and I would just use here right. Fine. Okay, after this, what I would just using, I would be using out, that is f1 underscore heading, f1 underscore heading dot pack. Okay, to put out all the things onto this particular place. Okay, after that I would be using out the second one as well. So second one was my f2 underscore frame dot pack, and putting out the bracket, and here using out my side function to put that onto the top. Fine. After that I'd be using my third one, that is f3 underscore result, put out the dot and use out the pack function, and then I'll be putting that onto the side, that is equal to top, and giving out some PADX and PADY values. So PADY is 20 and giving out PADX is 50. Okay, so these are the two things in which I just want to put out here. And at last, okay, we had taken one thing that was, I guess that was text. Okay, let's write here text dot, and I would just want to use out the pack function. Okay, so instead of text, what actually we had taken? So okay, so let me just go above here. Okay, not this one. Here we had taken out. Fine, I just wanted to make out one query function as well here after the entry box. Okay, after the input box, let's make out one of the query functions. So let me just give it a name as query, and let me just keep it as blank. Fine. After this, I'd be using here the variable that is text. Actually, text is equal to fine, and what I'm just putting out here. So we have one function that is text that will actually help me to write out whatever I just want onto that search bar. Okay, into the bracket we have the variable in which I just want to put that out, that is window. What about my fonts? Font all the fonts. So that is, first I'm having Arial. After that, the size which I just want, that is 17, and I just want that to be in the bold. Fine. After that, what about the comma? Putting out the BG color. So my BG color is, let's say, light blue. So that is light blue. Okay, and after that, giving out some values. So basically, I have put out a comma, and I have PADX value as 55, and I have PADY value as 10. Right, so this is all what I just wanted to do out here. Coming down side, text.pack, that is absolutely okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's quickly run out our program till this point, and let's see that what is actually coming out. Okay, after that we'll be making out the search function that will actually help me. Okay, so it is giving me something, that self.tk call in the line number 14. Okay, line number 14 it is giving me. Okay, side spelling is wrong. Let's correct that out. So where's my line number 14? So here we are, and where I had used this one. Okay, one single I would be using up. Now it's the time for running out my program. So let's once again run it out. Fine. Now we are able to see one window like this that is appearing. Onto that I am having the the topic as my mini Wikipedia, the title, right? After that I have a search here and the search button, and this is the search results. Okay, and after that I am having this particular thing to appear. Okay, there is some mistake. This bar actually, this entry text bar should come after this search here button, right? Let's correct that thing. So okay, where is that box actually? Where is that entry one gone? This is f3 underscore result, not here. It would be instead of this it should be f2 underscore frame, right? So that should be f2 underscore frame. Right, now let's run it once again here. Okay, now it's okay, absolutely okay. Now here you're able to write anything. Let's say I just wrote data science. Let's say I just wrote this particular thing. It's okay, CIENCE. Fine, I just click on search, but nothing will actually happen here because we haven't selected and made out anything for this search button, right? So now it's the time for making out this button here. So let's do that particular thing. So yeah, beside downside this function def. Okay, find my function name. Okay, find is one of the functions which we already have. We cannot put it like this. So I will just write text underscore search, my function name, putting out a colon and coming down. So here first of all I'll be making out the global one of the functions variable which we have defined above, that is query. Okay, so global and then query. Fine. After that, I'd be using this query as well here. So that is query is okay. One more thing to mention here, that's why I had made out this query as global, because whatever the variables you are using outside the function, if you just want to use them inside the function, then you want to make them as global. Then only that will actually work. Okay. So query is one of the variables which I have declared outside, but I just want to use that inside, so I just made out global query. Fine. So query is equal to, and I would just use here entry underscore box, my variable name, put out a dot and use here the get. Fine. Coming down side, I'd be using out my try function. Try. Okay, try, and coming down, so I would here put out a let's say variable that is txt underscore summary. Okay, that is double mary. Fine. Right. So let me just come down first of all. Okay, putting out the equal to sign, I'd be using wk dot. We have a function that is summary, and into the bracket I'll be putting out the query variable right here. Okay, then I'll be just using out text. Okay, the text which we have made out above. So text dot, I'm just using out the insert function. Okay, putting out some value here. Okay, that is insert. Fine. Putting out a value which is 1.0 0, comma, and giving out the variable name that is txt underscore summary. Fine, that is okay. After this we have the accept function. So accept okay, putting out the colon and using here text dot insert into the bracket. I'll be putting out 1.0 and putting out a comma here, and if this is the case, if the above one is not the case and if downside is the case, so in that show me that no results found. No results found. Okay, so this is completed. Now what I would just do, I would just try to run out my program here for a while right here. So this is appearing, this window is actually appearing absolutely fine. Now what I would just do here is that I would be putting out one text. Let's say that is I just want to search here as data science. Okay, ENCE. Fine, and it just click on the search button. So what it will do, it will basically extract all the text for me for the data science, and it will show me that particular thing here. Now this will actually depend on to the internet speed that you are actually having, right? So let it just work out here. So okay, let's once again click on the search button and let me just close. Okay, just 1 second, it will not work right here because we haven't defined and called the search button till now. Fine, so that I'll be calling into this button one under variable. So I will just put out a comma. Let's say do it like this and right here command is equal to, and my function name was text underscore search. Right now it will actually work. Let's quickly run this out once again. And okay, let me maximize this one and let me put out my word, that is let's say data science, SCIENCE. Okay, click on the search button. So basically it will extract the text for me for the data science. Now just have a look that it has extracted me many lines for this. So data science is an interdisciplinary field that uses scientific methods, processes, algorithms and systems to extract knowledge and insights from structured and unstructured data, and many things it has written here. You can just search that on your own. Right, so it has basically searched that particular thing for me. I would just close this out. Now I would just run it once again and give it out some wrong things here. Okay. So let's say I just want to search out Python, but I'd simply write P-T-H-O-N. I just simply gave out a wrong spelling. Right, so now let's see that what it will actually give out for me. So it will show me that no results are found actually here. See, no results found. Right. So basically, hope you have just got out a clear idea that how you can make out this Wikipedia on your own and just use this out. Right, so this was a GUI project that we have covered. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.